So, I love a good love story, y'all, but I'm going to share it with y'all. Roux. Roux was a beautiful woman. She was probably, I'm going to describe her to you, right? Set the tone. She was probably 5'8". Yeah. Her stature was probably, you know, nice build. She was small in the waist. Let me see if I can guess her measurements. Maybe like 28, 36. Like waist to hip ratio. She had probably like copper toned curly hair. She wore her natural hair a lot. Beautiful, deep brown eyes, full lips, high cheekbones. Yeah, that's Roux. Roux is 32. Well, at the time this all took place, she was 32. She was single, not looking for a relationship at all. She was actually very focused on building herself up and hopefully inspiring other people to do the same thing. Her influences were her family and her relationship with God. She had a deep connection to her community around her, and she loved being a part of that. Roux was just living her life. She had had her fair share of love and romantic experiences, but that wasn't her focus at 32. She had just graduated with her master's at this time. So, yeah, I can say from where I stood anyway, like she just was, I want to use the word content, but not content. She was fulfilled in how her life was. So she would get up every day. She did like community work. So whatever it was, wherever it was that she was needed or asked to be, she would do that. And she lives in like, I don't want to say a small town, because that wasn't the type of town. It wasn't like country, slow, or anything like that. It just was probably on the outskirts of a major city. Give you an idea. Like, I'm in Philadelphia, so an outskirts of that might be like Springfield or Lancaster or something like that. So close enough, but definitely not in the city. So she got a chance to take things easy and show up for herself in a way that was kind of unfamiliar to her upbringing, because she grew up in the city. So Roux one day in her travels, on her way to the farmer's market, out minding her business with her reusable bag. Knowing Roux, she probably had on a simple white t-shirt, dark denim jeans, and I was about to say kids, but people don't wear kids no more, so maybe like a van. A Tom. All prepared to put her belongings and findings into the bag. So she's out in the farmer's market doing her little shopping. She was finished now at this point. So walking out the door, she kind of opened the door up on to this guy, and he was pulling it at the same time to come in, but she had beat him to it. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. My apologies. So if Roux is 5'8", she always described this guy as being like taller than her. So he must have been like 6'2". She ain't really paid no mind at first, she just was like, excuse me, and I'm gonna slow this down, but it happened very quickly. So if you can imagine, you walking out the door, boom, you bump it into somebody, and they're not eye level to you, so you're like, oh, excuse me, sorry, your gaze is kind of down, and you don't really pay it no mind. But she said that he didn't move. Like that's what it seemed like to her. He didn't move like fast enough out of her way, so she could continue leaving the farmer's market. So then it forced her to kind of like look up like, excuse me, and they caught eyes. And she kind of like snickered to herself, like, gave like the head nod, like, you have a good day or whatever. And the guy said something like slick, not slick or sly, like a bad way, but I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was probably something along the lines of like, oh, excuse me, like, you know how guys can say that type of stuff sometimes. So she again apologized, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I hope you have a good day. And she continued to walk away. He then was like, let the door go and started to walk behind her. And was like, excuse me. So she turned around, and at this time, she like, what does this fool want? So Roux, squinting her eyes a little bit, probably frowning her face up like this. He's talking. She's listening, of course, but she always described it like, her expression started to relax and her body language started to relax because she started to notice while he was talking that she was attracted to him. So she just softened her face up a little bit, and then she realized, he was basically just making casual conversation, but he was attracted. He liked her, so he was trying to slow her down. And he was asking about if it was a certain stand or like place in the farmer's market or whatever. And she was like, yes, that's where I actually just came from. When you go in, go this way, that way, and they're right there, whatever. So he's like, okay. And then he goes, could you take some time out and maybe like show me so I don't get lost in there? And something in her was just like, be kind to him. Yeah, she had this intuition that was out of this world that she listened to. So it kind of made her feel more comfortable. So she was like, okay. So she started smiling. So she walked him over back to the door. She didn't really get that far away anyway. Walks in. All the noise from the farmer's market hits you as soon as you open the door. I don't know if you've ever been to a farmer's market, but that's typically how it is. They're busy and bustling with business, especially on this particular day. So I'm assuming She never told me today, but based off of the story, it was probably like a Thursday or a Saturday, one of their busy days. She walks in and leads him to the corner of where the stand is that he was looking for. And she was like, well, have a good day. Like, I'm leaving. You know, I'm out. It's enough. I'm going to go make me a cup of tea.